Hi, my name is Lissa. Hopefully you've had the opportunity to watch the first and second video where I'm kind of going over the past 20 plus years. It's been almost 25 years that I've been on this journey, and especially over the past year, past 15 months where things have been extremely hard for me. And I want to first off and say thank you. Thank you guys for your support. Thank you for watching these videos. I feel like it's really important for me to explain what's going on the best I can, even though it's a lot of information and there's a lot that I haven't even shared. But I just feel it's important because I know that with my health conditions, they're really complex and it's hard to explain. And so I wanted to say thank you again. So today I want to go into kind of where I'm headed on my journey right now, but also I just want to first start off by saying over the past 20 plus years, I have done anything that I could do in my power to heal. And that's really been what I've wanted to do, is to heal and get to the bottom of things. And especially over the past 7 years, I've seen multiple specialists, who haven't been able to connect the dots. Unfortunately, with the way our healthcare system is set up, it's hard for them to connect. When you have widespread symptoms, it's hard for them to be able to connect all of that together and figure out what's really going on. And I've worked on healing my gut. I've worked on physical therapy. I've worked on massage therapy, acupuncture, different types of natural doctors over the past few years to try to heal. And unfortunately, I haven't been able to, and things have continued to get worse. And so, I just wanted to let you know that those are definitely avenues that I have gone down in the past and continue to pursue. This past year in August of 2022, when I started to see a new provider, he's a doctor who works with patients who have chronic illnesses and who have basically, kind of ran out of options, and so he's a really intelligent guy. He's an MD, but he also looks at the body holistically to try to be able to connect the dots. And as I mentioned before, he's ran lots of tests. And, really what we've discovered and what we know is there's been some kind of chronic inflammatory response that's been going on in my body over almost 25 years. And, it's caused a cascade of issues. And I don't know how much of that is genetic, but I definitely believe there's definitely a genetic component to it. But I hope that we can get to the root causes, and there may be a few root causes, but that's, what I have been looking for and digging for, because I want to heal. But even with how hard things have been, like extremely hard, where I've been bedbound mostly the past 15 months, medications have been vital. It's been something that, like I said, I wouldn't have been able to eat or sleep without a couple of these medications. And unfortunately, my body will decide it wants to react very negatively to the medication, and I'll go back into a really bad flare. And so, I wish I could tolerate medications better just to feel better, in the meantime, until we can really get to the bottom of things. But I've learned in the past number of years that I have to go a different direction with doctors, and I have to go with doctors who really understand my conditions, but also who can look at the body as a whole. And that's what this doctor has been doing over the past year, has been trying to look at things as a whole. And so, we know that there's this chronic inflammatory condition going on. We know that the autonomic nervous system is driving a whole bunch of symptoms that I'm having, issues, and just really causing a lot of issues. It could be what's driving the mast cell activation disorder as well. Unfortunately, my diagnosis is they can trigger one another, so it can make things worse. So the mast cell activation disorder can trigger the connective tissue disease, and the mast cells can trigger the dysautonomia, and vice versa. All of them can trigger each other. So it's quite a mess. And, I'd like to be able to just turn all of that off. And unfortunately, we haven't been able to do that. And so, as I mentioned before, I'm having lots and lots of neurological symptoms going on with these different conditions and the pain throughout my body. And so I've just been praying and asking God, like, there has to be another way besides medication. If my body's not accepting these medications, and the medications make me extremely tired on top of the dragging, heavy fatigue that I already have. So it's not the solution. And I feel like, I prayed really hard about going to see this new doctor that I mentioned in the last video. He's a functional neurologist, and I already have seen him one time. He's ordered some tests to see if there is any sort of autoimmune diseases against my brain. There's a lot of different areas that he is skilled in to look at as far as brain issues and treating traumatic brain injuries and treating dysautonomia, the vestibular system. He's really skilled at looking into a lot of those things. But kind of the outcome of our appointment is he wanted to also run some more tests, because he thinks that, yes, there's neurological stuff going on, and neurological, the brain is causing like dysautonomia, because dysautonomia is a neurological condition. But he thinks that with all of the symptoms I'm having and the chronic inflammatory response, that there's something there, something's driving it, and we haven't been able to uncover that yet. And so I pray that with his help, and if he has some partners that he works with too, or some other doctors, that we can continue to dig and look into those things. I'm still going to work with the doctor that I have been for the past year, who doesn't take my insurance, because he's been really more of like a primary care physician for me, when my primary care doctor, didn't know what to do. So this new doctor that I'm starting to work with, the functional neurologist, testing runs anywhere from around $400 up to like, $700, $800, $900 for different tests that he runs. And they're specialized tests. And most of them are blood tests. Some of them are other types of tests. He wants to dig some more into mold. We've dug some into, dug a little bit into mold, but he wants to dig more into mold and see how my body's detoxing mold, because I do definitely have some complicated genes that basically makes it hard for my body to detox properly. And then also he really can, it's hard to explain because I've only met with him once, but he's good at kind of figuring out what and how my neck is playing into all of these issues, like the dysautonomia and the neurological problems. And so there's a lot more that we need to dive in with this doctor to try to figure out what portion of my neck is contributing to all these issues. And so there's a lot to be discovered there still. But when it comes to treating the neck, which I know is going to have to be addressed, usually patients who've been diagnosed with a type of instability in my neck, there's kind of a couple options and a couple roads. And one is surgery, which is a road that I hope to never have to go down, just because it's a really crazy intense surgery. They fuse your skull to your neck, and there's not a lot of great outcomes, especially with patients who have connective tissue diseases. The vertebrae below the fusions continue to get weak, and they continue to have revision surgeries and more fusions. And I don't think that my body could handle that, being that I can't even tolerate ibuprofen at this point. So there's another alternative option, which is the road that I want to pursue, called regenerative medicine. And that's kind of a whole nother thing to dive into, but this physician is out in Colorado, and they do specialized injections, and the therapies that they do range anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 per session. And so they can inject plasma or stem cells from your own body into certain ligaments in your neck, and it's very specialized because it's really close to the brainstem, and it's a really delicate area to be working on. I wish insurance covered those things, and unfortunately they don't. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. you know, I'm just praying that God would plant every step. I've been praying that through this whole process, and it's been extremely hard. Like I said, it's been extreme suffering. In the last two videos, you wouldn't know how bad I was struggling. I had severe headaches both times, and it just takes a lot out of me to even do these videos. But like I said, I think it's important for you to know what's going on. I appreciate everyone's support. I thank you very much. Thank you for watching these videos. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me or my husband. So thank you so much. And I also just wanted to invite people out to the event on November 10th. It's coming up this Friday, that Transformation Ministries is putting on at a church. This video should be connected to the event on Facebook. But if you have any questions, you can reach out to me, or there should be a link that you'll be able to click on to get the information. But I invite you guys to come out to this benefit concert. There's going to be some awesome musicians. I'm sure it's going to be a great night of worship. I won't personally be able to attend, but I invite you to come. And if you feel led to make any donations, there's a link connected to all of this too, where you can make a donation. Again, I just thank you very much for your support, and I appreciate just any prayers that you could just pray that God would continue to guide my steps and show me what the next step is here on my journey. Thank you so much.